peeps. We're going to talk about wall balls, and I want you to really pay attention because I do expect us all to be on the same page when it's about how we teach this exercise and what standards we're expecting from the athlete when they're performing this exercise, right? So what I have here, I have two balls, and then you can see the target. Sometimes we have the pegs here, and you know, if people don't pay attention, they can hurt themselves. So what I've done, I've moved the peg across. So if they don't do it by themselves, please keep that in mind and move the peg around there. Now the whole idea for a thruster is squatting and then recruiting power through your hip to go up there. So what I normally do, this is how I walk a client through my thruster. I'll say we have the ball, right? You can try to keep the stitch out. I mean, I know you don't have a lot of time to do it, so I'm going to take you through it exactly as I do it, as if I would be in a class. So you want to be arm length away, you want to hold the ball in front of your eyes, you want to go in a full deep squat, and then through the squat, as you come up, you go to the target. Catch as you go down, and then go back up. So you want to have that flow, right? The ball always stays in front of your face, shouldn't go down, and you shouldn't be throwing from here or here, so it's not about that. So that's how I would teach. I don't know how long that was, but how I would explain the exercise. Now what happens, sorry, a bit out of gas. What happens is you see a whole array of mistakes as this moves on, especially with people that have never done wall balls. Now, I would never give wall balls to somebody that doesn't even know how to squat. And also I wouldn't give them a high volume. Let's say that's their first session ever, they just started now, you have 50 wall balls on the board, you can't give them that. I would just make sure first that they can squat. Always bring a squat station when you're seeing that people don't have the standard squat. Obviously there are exceptions, there are people that have knee problems, there are people that, there are situations, but for somebody that's young and healthy and everything, they need to have the target first, right? And try to go for the target. So if they can't even do a squat, I would just make them to do just normal squats, right? If they can do squats, but they're not really proficient at them, I would just go, let's do this, right? And then slowly introduce them to wall balls. Now, the whole idea is that you see clients, and even if you don't know them, but even the ones you know, they keep trying to cheat. So always bring them a squat station. Arm length, right? Make sure that they're arm length because you can see them throwing from here in weird ways. So you want to be just in front of the rig, and you want to have this position here, right? So what are your points of performance? You want to see that they're going fully down, and they're recruiting, feet are down onto the floor, whole foot is down onto the floor, and then driving up, okay? Up, and then catching as they go down, okay? Make sure that they're understanding the ball needs to be here, not here, or other weird things like this. I know it can be really hard and people are reluctant to that and they find a way of cheating, but we do want to keep the standard in training, right? Don't let them just get away with it. That's not what they're paying us for. If you want to leave a mark on somebody's life, then do your job right, isn't it? And don't be afraid of stopping them and saying like, look, that's not okay. We either need to reduce it for you in order to make it achievable, or maybe do less reps, or scale it down, whatever, something that they can do instead of thinking that they are doing it and then they're not really doing it right, is it? And somebody that works really hard and does quite a lot of reps and they've worked really hard at it, they'll think they are as good as the other person. And they have to work at their own pace. Now, obviously the balls are different weights. I would probably start with a 2 kilo for somebody that's never done it. But yeah, reinforce the training standard. Even if they are in a hurry to just get it done and over with, which is probably our biggest enemy, slow them down and say like, okay, I mean, you don't want to be bitchy. You don't want to go like, oh my God, that's a no rep. oh, look at you, you're working for nothing. No, the whole idea is to say like, look, let's try to do this correctly. Let's find something that works for you, that is sustainable, but done correctly. So even if it's as simple as a squat or squatting with a ball in front of you. We've also had variations in the past where people, they were squatting and instead of throwing the ball, they would touch up, right? Even this is a good thing to, you know, to teach people how to scale it down for them, right? Find a scaling version that works for them. So again, what are those scaling versions? Squat, simply, if you can't squat yet. Squat with the ball in front of your head. Fourth one would be, okay, you can't get to the target or throw it at all, just touch up. We can go to the gymnastics wall. And last but not least would be the full advanced version of going to the lower signage for the women and the higher for the male. But you want to make sure, tell them all the way down to the ball, all the way down to the ball, and making sure they have that flow because they otherwise run out of gas. I hope that's of use. I'll see you soon.